In this video, we're going to look at how to simplify a complex fraction. That's the first one, regular fraction here. And the second one we can call a complex rational expression. So you can see complex fraction is simply one that has fractions in the numerator and or denominator. So look at two methods to simplify these. So we're going to look at the first one here. And one way to do it is to simply go ahead and treat the numerator as one problem, treat the denominator as a separate problem, and just work them out. So 3 over 4 minus 1/3 plus 5 over 6. And then we just find the common denominator. So we find the common denominator here, which is 12, 4, 3, and 6 all go into 12. And there's several ways to do it. This is one way that I showed in one of the videos. And simply 4 goes into 12 3 times, and then 3 times 3 is 9. Put that up here. Bring down the sign. 3 goes into 12, 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Bring down the sign, that's plus. 6 goes into 12, 2. 2 times 5 is 10. So all we're saying is that 9 over 12 is the same thing as 3 over 4. Minus 4 over 12 is the same thing as minus 1/3. 10 over 12 is the same thing as 5 over 6. And then we just combine. 9 minus 4 is 5, and 10 is 15 over 12. So let's come back up here then. Say this is equal to, and then now the answer to the numerator part is 15 over 12. And then we do the same thing for the denominator. So I'm just going to put an equal here just to save some time here. I would simply write this over here. Just to save some time, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. Then I do the same thing. My division line here. And the denominators for the denominator problem are 12, 2, and 4. So the common denominator there is again 12. So I go 12 goes into 12. 1 times that numerator, 5 is 5, plus, bring down the sign, then 2 goes into 12, 6, 6 times 1 is 6, and the next one, bring down the sign, that's a minus, 4 into 12 is 3, 3 times a minus 5 is 15, and then 5 and 6 is 11, and minus 15 is minus 4 over 12. Now ordinarily I would reduce this, but because I have a 12 over here on top also, I'm just going to leave it and say it's 15 over 12 divided by negative 4 over 12. So then when you divide fractions, you invert and multiply. So this will actually be 15 over 12 times 12 over negative 4. So these 12s are going to cancel out. That's going to give me a 15 over negative 4. I normally we like the negative in the numerator, so I'll just put it here. So this simplifies to negative 15 over 4. And that's your solution to that one. It's in simplified form. Now the other way to do it is to simply multiply the numerator and the denominator of that expression by the LCD, lowest common denominator, or least common multiple, whatever you want to call it. Again, it's going to be 12. So you look at 4, 3, 6, 12, 2, 4. And again, they all divide into 12. So we just simply multiply this by 12. This by 12. And bring it down here is equal to. So we just proceed here. So multiplying the first fraction in the numerator. 4 goes into 12. 3. 3 times 3 is 9. The next one. Minus 1/3, 3 goes into 12, 4, 4 times the 1 there, so they make minus 4 here. Then bring down the plus sign here. 6 into 12 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. The denominator now, 12 multiplies 5 over 12, the 12's cancel out, that leaves me with a 5. And bring down the sign. 2 into 12 is 6, 6 times 1 is 6. Minus here, 4 into 12 is 3, 3 times 5 is 15. Again, 9 minus 4 is 5, and 10 is 15. Then 5 and 6 is 11. 11 minus 15 is a negative 4. This comes out to 15 over negative 4. Again, I'll put the negative on top. That's how that works. So negative 15 over 4 is the simplified solution to that complex fraction. Now with this one here, you can do the same thing. You take the numerator part, treat it as a separate expression, find the LCD, which is x plus 2 times x plus 1, combine. Do the same thing with the denominator, LCD. It's x plus 1 and x, and then you divide the numerator expression by the denominator expression, whatever answer you get there, simplify, and that's your solution. So let's look at what that looks like here. So here's what it looks like if you go ahead and do the steps. So just to save time on this, this is the numerator right here, x minus 2 plus x minus 2 over x plus 2 plus x minus 1 over x plus 1. So here's your lowest common denominator. The factors are x plus 2, x plus 1. So the way this works then is x plus 2 divides the denominator. The x plus 2's cancel, I get x plus 1, and then multiplies x minus 2. So that's how I got this part right there. Then for the second part, bring down the sign plus. X plus 1 divides the denominator. The x plus 1 cancels. I'm left with x plus 2. That multiplies x minus 1 here. So then x minus 2 times x plus 1, just using your form method, x times x is x squared minus 2x. And then x is minus x. 1 times the minus 2 is minus 2. That's how we get that trinomial there. And for this one, x minus 1 times x plus 2, x times x squared. Middle term minus x, and 2x is x, and then 2 times minus 1 is a minus 2. And then here the minus x and the x cancel out. X squared plus x squared is 2x squared, and a minus 2 and a minus 2 is a minus 4. So the numerator part comes out to 2x squared minus 4 over x plus 2 times x plus 1. And then we do the same thing with the denominator expression. So for the denominator, we have x over x plus 1 minus 2x minus 3 over x. Now again, this negative distributes with the whole numerator. That's why I have it out in front. Otherwise, you'd have to put parentheses here. LCD is x plus 1 and x. So again, x plus 1 divides the denominator and left with x. So x times x gives me this product right here. It's going to be x squared. Then I bring down the sign, minus. Okay, so I got this in parentheses because it's going to distribute here. So I got x goes into x, x plus 1. Because the x is canceled, so I got 2x minus 3 times x plus 1. So all I did in the next step here is x times x is x squared. And then I multiply this out. X times 2x is 2x squared. And then for the middle term here, minus 3x. And 2x is minus x. And then 1 times a minus 3 is a minus 3. And then here I distributed the negative. Minus 2x squared here. And that x squared gives me the minus x squared. And then everything is to distribute it here. Minus times the minus x is a plus x. Minus times the minus 3 changes the sign to a plus 3. So this is what you get for the numerator expression. And this is what you get for the denominator expression. So you divide this by this. The numerator expression divided by the denominator expression. So here's what we have here. So this is the what we got for the numerator. And this is what we got for the denominator. So it's just divided by this. 2x squared minus 4 over x plus 2 times x plus 1. And the division procedure is when you divide fractions, whether you're regular fractions or rational expressions, you invert and multiply. So this becomes x plus 1 times x. So we invert this divisor. And this becomes in the denominator here minus x squared plus x plus 3. This cancels out. X plus 1 in the numerator, x plus 1 down here. So what do we have left in the denominator? We have then minus x squared plus x plus 3. And here, got the x plus 2. And the numerator is just going to give you the 2x squared minus 4 times the x. But sometimes you'll see this simplified a little bit more. So it's x times 2x squared minus 4 over this expression here. But sometimes you'll simplify further. So let's say we can factor out a 2 here from this expression here. So that'll be a 2. And then what's left is x squared minus 2. And then you have the factor x here, so I can put this out in front. 2x over x squared minus 2. And that should be simplified. But sometimes you'll see it a little bit further. Sometimes you'll factor out a negative out of this one. So let's say, okay, this could be your answer here. That's simplified. You'll see some that'll factor out a negative out of this one here. So let me do this. X plus 2 here. And let's factor out a negative out of this one here. The minus x squared becomes an x squared. The x becomes, positive x becomes a minus x. The 3 becomes a minus 3. And they'll put this negative up here with the 2x. So this then could be a minus 2x. And then parentheses x squared minus 2. So for me, I'd accept this answer here. I'd also accept this answer here. They're both in simplified form. But I've seen some that they want the coefficient of the square term to have a positive coefficient. Either way. And then for this one, I'm just going to set this up to you, and you can complete this. But what you would do here is, again, same thing we did with the rational, or the complex, the regular complex fraction. Multiply both numerator and denominator by the LCD. So the LCD here, the denominators for these 4 fractions are x plus 2, x plus 1, x plus 1, and x. So the LCD will have factors of x plus 2, x plus 1, and x. The LCD has to have all the factors that appear in these denominators the maximum number of times. So x plus 2 only appears once, so I only put it once. Now, had this been x plus 2 squared, then I would have an x plus 2 squared here. But it's x plus 2 once, x plus 1 appears once, x plus 1 once. I already have it here, and then the x. And then you go through and multiply. So for the numerator part, and of course in the denominator, you would do the same thing. So let me just put this over here also. X plus 2. So you can see what's going to happen in the numerator. The numerator, the x plus 2, will divide the x plus 2 here. So you'd have x minus 2 times x plus 1 times x. And here's a hint. I would keep the x factored out. When you simplify and leave the x factored out, it'll be the computation will be a little bit easier. And then x plus 1 here for the next fraction, x plus 1 cancels. So you have x minus 1 times x plus 2 times the x. Again, when you set it up, I'd have the x all the way out. And then for the denominator, x plus 1 cancels. So you have x and the x, multiply that there, x squared. So that would give you the x plus 2 and then the x. So x plus 1 cancels. You get x plus 2 times the x squared. And then here, minus, parentheses on that 2x minus 3. And then the x cancels out here. And you'd have 2x minus 3 times 2x times x plus 2 times x plus 1. Now in this one, in the denominator, the first fraction, for the first product is going to have a factor of x plus 2, and so with the second one. I would factor out the x plus 2. You can still work it out by multiplying it, but if you leave it factored out, it'll be easier. So go ahead and work this out. You have the answer from the previous part that I did. The other method, you should get the same thing. If you simplify the same way, the answer should be the same. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.